yards that Wakefield can do, and take it from there.
Game is underway with Hannigan's kick off, and that is going to be bounced and eventually collected at the second attempt by Mason Leno. Then it's given to I think it's Bowden there that's going to look at fetching it forward. It actually could be Kai Rodwell. He's going to be wrapped up 12 metres out. Looking to them fetch it forward now is this Trinity side in their away kit of a pale blue, but they've made it to the 20 metre line before playing that. Tony was the man to fetch it forward, just made it just short of their own 30 now of Wakefield's. Tackled completely by King. Corkle Hannigan was the third man in there as well. It's now to Matty Ashurst, who's going to make a good 15 metres or so before being fetched down. So 8 short of halfway here are Wakey. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online going to fetch it across now into the hands of Jay Pitts. Pitts is going to be taken down exactly on halfway. It is the 5 and last. Going to be in centre field here. Doyle in at dummy half. Comes across then to Mason Leno. You imagine most of the kicking is going to go through his boot this afternoon, but that is collected by Joey Romeo. It's a good chase there, affected by this Wakefield side, and Romeo's wrapped up 20 metres away from his own lines. Now Curtis Tier to look at fetching this forward on the wing. He's the former Waff-Brown man. It didn't get looking to go that, and is it going to be a penalty for Whitehaven? It is going to be a penalty for Whitehaven. Things ruled to be that markers aren't going to be square, and a bit of a let-off there for Whitehaven, because that ball was lost in that tackle there, Peter.
I've seen them given the other way as well, Jordan, from there, but as I say, it's one in favour of Whitehaven, and what they're going to be doing there is just making sure of that ball. Obviously, the longer they've got the ball, the longer Wakefield haven't, so that's what you've got to do. You've got to starve your opposition of the ball.
Jamie Doran's put the ball into touch, and it's going to be Whitehaven that will get this game back underway inside the Wakefield half. Tapping on the 40. Tap then goes across to Owen McCarran. McCarran is going to be stopped. 33 away from this Wakefield line. Newton in at dummy half, going to go across then to Ross Ainley. Ainley runs it forward, put down onto his back is the former Kells man. 27 metres out. Newton in there at dummy half, going to come left then to Guy Graham. Graham then just looking to, and he's going to be picked up and dumped down safely, says referee Kevin Moore, who was also the official at Widnes last week. Worthington now finds Hannigan, comes off Hannigan, goes into the hands of Gebby. Judged to have gone backwards off the hand of Lachlan Hannigan. It's going to be Rio Corkill, the man that's wrapped up. 22 metres out here. Newton in at dummy half. Again, going to come across to Ross Ainley once again. Just runs it forward there, does Ainley. He finds his front. It's going to be the 5 and last. 17 metres out, in line with the right-hand side post. 2.5 minutes gone. Going to go right into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put a little dink towards the corner. Oscar Doran's trying to get there, trying to knock it back. It's come off the hands of Oscar Doran and gone over the touchline. So it's going to be a turnover ball here on the Wakefield 10 metre here for the visitors. 3 minutes gone.
Yeah, a bit of a scruffy set that from Whitehaven. There was a couple of poor passes that went to ground and whatever, and he didn't really finish off with a good kick. But seeing as though it's a bit wet now, or the rain's maybe going to come in, I think the best option would be to put it on the floor and try and make them pick it up from there and force the error.
Just like that from Jermaine McGilvray. The ball, as we mentioned pre-match, Peter, that the rain hadn't come in, but while we were listening to Jonty Gawley, he put a little bit of a shower down, and it just means it's going to be that skiddy on top. The ball's going to get a little bit wet, and McGilvray there, guilty of probably looking forward before he had the ball in his hands. It's going to be an opportunity for Haven here with a scrum down 20 metres out. Yeah,
that's what you've got to do in these early stages. Build some kind of foundation for your team, for your forwards to get over the halfway line, and that's where you can put your players on. But if you're going to knock the ball on your own 20, I mean, you get what you're getting there.
So Doran's going to feed this scrum. It's held into the scrum. Newton at the back, and then comes right back round to Doran, then finds Hannigan. Hannigan then finds Corkill. Corkill steps back inside. He's going to be wrapped up 10 metres out here. Whitehaven on the attack. 4 minutes gone on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. Ross Ainley now. 3-4 Wakefield Trinity defenders pushing back 2 or 3 metres, then start doing it laterally, but he's going to play this ball. Newton in a dummy half, comes across to Hannigan, who then finds the Scottish international in Guy Graham, trying to keep going backwards. There is Graham, put down onto his back, just the right hand side of the post. 5-6 metres out. Newton going to go right into the hands of Hannigan, then comes across to King. Back in at second row is Ryan King this afternoon. Played plenty of his rugby at loose forward so far this season, still using his strength there is Ryan King, and eventually he's going to be judged to have been held up over the line, and maybe a little bit better there for Whitehaven, because they're going to have a little bit more space to work in there, because the Trinity line speed seems on top at the moment.
I think they've done their own work on Kingy there, because obviously he's very good close to the line, and he can get through and put the ball down and score from impossible angles. But I think they've done their own work, which they've done on a few people.
5 and last, going to go right into the hands of Hannigan, going across the floor on this occasion, and it's just going to be booted by Max Jowett. He didn't want anything to do with that, and has ended up going into the burger van behind the popular side. It's going to be a goal line dropout, just over 5 minutes gone. Whitehaven just trying to put the pressure on here, Peter, turning the screw ever so slightly.
Yeah, better kick as well. Obviously it went on the floor, so you know, as I say, you know, it's a bit greasy and slippy, so what you've got to be doing is playing to the conditions.
So clock is stopped by referee Kevin Moore, just waiting for another ball to arrive. It's been located now, and it's going to come with the dropout. That's a very good dropout, and has gone behind every single one of the Whitehaven players, and it's eventually going to be collected by Rio Corkill, 35 metres away from his own line. Seriously misjudged that, did Whitehaven. They won't be wanting to do that, but it means here, while Whitehaven were putting the pressure on, they're essentially starting a fresh set of 6 inside their own half following that goal line dropout. So Guy Graham's the man to now fetch it forward. Second tackle, he's pulled down 2 metres short of halfway. Newton then comes across to Hugh Worthington and across to Doran, who finds Owen McCarran. Whitehaven are happy and lucky to play in these opening stages. They're going to be wrapped up 40 metres away from their own line. Calling for the 6 again, not given by referee Kevin Moore. Then finds Hugh Worthington, runs it forward, tries and spins out to the tackle. Does a Welsh international, 32 metres out of Whitehaven, trying to get fast play the balls. Jamie Doran putting a little kick early. Joey Romeo's going to be on the chase, and Jowett's then going to be the man to take it up. And he's not going to be put up over the touchline or behind the try line, but he's nailed pretty much a metre away from his own line. McGilvray's the man now to fetch it forward. Whitehaven will try and force an error here.
Yeah, they can attack with the defence now and just get right off their line and fire right into Wakefield. And as I said again, you know, try and force the error. Try and push something that they're not used to be doing.
Fetching the ball forward now, it's Kai Rodwell, the second rower. Plays it 22 metres away from his own line. Kay then goes out the back to Jabba. Jabba looks to step back inside, nearly through there, but he's fetched down by a combination of Ryan King and Lachlan Hannigan. It's the 5 and last that made it to their own 40 of Wakefield. Leno's going to be putting that kick in. It's over the top of a Dean Gebby, and it's going to hold up a metre short of the try line. So the Papua New Guinean picks it up, fetches the ball forward, and then looking to try and find a little bit of a gap there is the Papua New Guinean, but he's wrapped up 12 short away from his own line. Hannigan in at dummy half, then going to come across to Oscar Doran, the youngster, backing Jonty's starting lineup after being on the bench for the last 2 games. Not played in them last 2 games, however. Doran in there at dummy half, then comes across to Joey Romeo, trying to spin out to the tackle, does the Kiwi. 30 metres away from his own line now, back into the hands of Jamie Doran, then comes across to Hugh Worthington. Worthington just sticks his head down and runs it forward. 4 short, 3 short of his own 40. Newton then comes across to Ross Ainley, and Ainley's going to be pulled down onto his back. It is the 5 and last. It's going to be 5 short of halfway of Whitehaven here. It's going to go into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Doyle was trying to put the pressure on. That's going to be a good kick from Lachlan Hannigan. It's just not going to find the angle to go over the touchline, and goes just over the dead ball line to the side. 8 minutes gone. Wakey with the top 20.
Still a good set there from Whitehaven. Obviously, I mean, from the set before from Wakefield, all you could see was just a blue wall just going to shoot Adini Gebby down from his own 10-20 metre area, and obviously there was about 6 or 7 Whitehaven players just walking back. You know, they've got to reverse that trend there, and you know, really put some more effort in and get behind the ball, just help your teammate out.
So Trinity looking to fetch this ball forward now, 5 short of halfway. Doyle goes left into the hands of Kay, then gets across to Matty Ashurst. Ashurst pulled down, but it's a quick play of the ball. Kay's then going to scoot from dummy half. Ball's then going to hit the floor, knocked back into the hands of Tony. Tony then finds Mason Leno. Fresh set of 6 as it comes off the hand of a Whitehaven man, and Mason Leno's got round 1. Can he get round 2? He can get away from Gebby, then still got the ball in hand. Says he's going to have to go down. I don't like that rule. If you go around the back of the man, I feel like it should be a penalty for the attacking side.
He took the man out there, George, so the referee had no other option.
He said had to go down. In the old days it would have been a penalty, but benefit of the doubt goes to the attacking side these days. Mason Leno runs it to the line. He's then going to be just wrapped up there as Kai Rodwell was too close to him for any sort of pass to come out of the back. The Trinity here within 10 metres. 9.5 gone on BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. And they've got pass goes across to Tony. Tony's taken down to the left hand side of the post. Doyle's in there at dummy half, going to look to go left again into the hands of Kay. Just wrapped up 1-on-1 there by Lachlan Hannigan. Ryan King then gets involved. as well, alongside Ross Ainley. Still a couple of tackles left in this set. Trinity still knocking on the door. Comes across to Leno, then comes across to Jay Pitts. Just seem to have lost their way just a little bit in this set, have this Wakefield side. 10 minutes gone here at the recreation ground, still 0-0. It's the 5 and last. Doyle comes across to Leno in centre field, just a little neat kick down. It's going to be done well there, to collected by Dean Gebby. Tried to be pushed back by the Wakefield defence, but has stayed well there to make sure he stayed the right side of the try line. Whitehaven work to do now, Peter.
Yeah, great kick as well, great set, and it was a great pick up from Dean Gebby there, right on his toes there. But you know, as I say, you know, it's good stuff from Whitehaven there. They're really rattling Wakefield at present. I know there's only about 5 or 6 minutes gone, but that's what they've got to be doing for the full 80.
So Owen McCarran is the man now to fetch it forward. Wakefield trying to pin Whitehaven in. McCarran just got over his own 20-metre line. Newton in there at dummy half, then going to come across to Doran. Doran runs it across the line, then it comes across to Hannigan. Now it finds King. King tries to get away from Lee Kane and Ollie Pratt. Is the 5 and last. Whitehaven have made it to just beyond their own 30. Going to come across to Jamie Doran. Doran's going to look to try and get the kick in. He's going to be held up with it. He's going to get the pass away to Dean Gebby. However, Dean Gebby likes broken field. He likes broken field. Just popping Newton in, and he's just going to be held up there. He was through, and it was Liam Kerr that had stopped him going one-on-one with the Wakefield fullback in Max Jowett. But sort of needs musty, but he showed what he can do in previous weeks. Showed what he can do there, Peter. But a scruffy end to the set. It should never have been needed.
No, not really, but you know, Adini Gebby really a guy of his stature, and you know, and he's played at international level. He should have put the ball right downfield just to get his troops back on there on the even keel. But now they're under pressure of defending their own 30-yard line.
So it's now going to be Josh Bowden to fetch it forward. He's going to be pulled down just over the Whitehaven 30, 28 away here. Doyle in at dummy half. Going to come across then to Jay Pitts. Pitts then goes out and back to Liam Kerr. Dropped clean by Liam Kerr, and maybe just a little bit of I'm not really a standoffer, but I'm trying to do a job, and just yet again maybe just looking that little bit ahead, trying to see where the ball could go before he actually had it in his hands.
No, I know. I think half-back was his preferable position that he'd played prior to that. And I know when we played Toronto a couple of years ago, obviously Liam Kerr was on the wing, but as I say, he could back up in different areas, and that's what makes him, you know, quite a good squad player or team player. But as I say, from there, he just took his eye off the ball just for a second, and you know, it's cost them.
It's going to be a scrum down, head and feed here to Whitehaven, 28 metres away from their own line. Goes right from the base of the scrum into the hands of Rio Corkill. Corkill's going to be dragged a couple of metres and back onto his own 30 here. Oscar Doran in at dummy half. He's going to scoot his Whitehaven's young player of the year from last season. He makes it to 5 short of the 40, trying to get a fast play of the ball. Comes across then to Ainley, comes across then to Jamie Doran. Doran then out the back to Dean Gebby. Gebby trying to find some space there once again. You can just see they're a little bit scared of Dean Gebby. I'm not surprised. Shown what he can do so far in broken field in the last few weeks as the Papua New Guinean. As Hugh Worthington makes it then, takes Whitehaven over the halfway line and just short of the Wakefield 40. Well, maybe slightly forward from Newton to Graham there, but it is going to be the 5 and last. Guy Graham plays it 30 metres out to Whitehaven. Jamie Doran's going to put a high hanging kick there. Curtis T is going to be on the chase, and it's going to be that Max Jowett didn't really have too much pressure on him, but he's soon hit when he lands from Tia. McCarran. Worthington was involved as well, as now McGilvray fetches it forward.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 people around him there, and what they're going to do is make that ball a challenge, and you know, and try and make it as hard as what you can for Max Jowett at fullback. But as I say, he looked quite comfortable underneath that ball, but you've got to make it harder for him when he's come to take them balls. But you know, it's another set there where Whitehaven can complete, and you know, just to disrupt Wakefield slightly.
So Doyle's made it to just over his own 40. Been a couple of times in this set where Whitehaven's got it with just one marker. However, it's going to be the 5 and last. Chase down going to be put down by Owen McCarran, and it's going to be eventually collected by Curtis T. McCarran has got that in his game, and the Wakefield players knew they couldn't touch it because they were standing in front of Mason Leno despite the charge down. And now Whitehaven are going to be starting this set exactly on halfway as Joey Romeo makes it to 5 metres over halfway in centre field on the second tackle. Hugh Worthington now, and realised that Bowden had been called offside. He's been able to make 7 or 8 metres before being pulled down. Going to go right then into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan just with the little dummy. He's going to be wrapped up. Josh Bowden is in there alongside Matty Ashurst. He's made it to 17, 18 metres away from this Wakefield line. Comes in the middle now to King. King then offers it off a couple of times. Then elects to take the line on himself. It's going to be the 5 and last, 11 metres out here to Whitehaven, in line with the left hand side post, attacking the Kells end in this first half. Going to come left into the hands of Jamie Doran, puts it back towards the middle, played up by a Tony. Is going to be a fresh set of 6. Whitehaven have a fresh set of 6. It's collected by James Newton. Newton spins out to 1, then he's going to be taken down 10 metres out, attacking the Kells end of Whitehaven. 15 minutes gone on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. It's still 0-0 here at the recreation ground. Hannigan now tries to spin out of the tackle, but wrapped up by the Wakefield defence. 5 metres out to the right hand side of the post. The Gebby waiting in there at dummy half, and Lexus Stewart then finds Guy Graham. Graham's then going to be pulled down 2 metres short, in line with that right hand side post. James Newton lining weight to dummy half, then comes across to Doran, comes across then to Curtis Tier. Tier's at the bend, gets pulled, pushes off one tackle. 5 metres out, left hand side of the post now. Newton trying to scoot quickly from dummy half. The Wakefield defence reacted quickly. It's going to be the 5 and last. Repeat set minimum fill needed here for Whitehaven. Gebby in there, going to put a look kick forward. Bounces back into the hands of the Papua-New-Guinean. Has he got that ball down? He's going to be reeled up, held up. Is it going to be a handover ball, or is it going to be a fresh set of 6? I think it could just be a going to be a turnover ball. There it is. The ball not judged to have been played by the Wakefield man.
It wasn't a bad effort from Adini Gebby. He just picked the ball from knocking half back, and he just tried to slot it through, and obviously he got the rebound. He came back and he tried to force himself over the line, so it wasn't a bad effort. But as I say, Whitehaven got Wakefield with the where they want them. Really, they're fetching the ball from their own 10-yard line, and more of it to come.
16 and a half gone on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Wakefield fetching the ball forward. Early change, can't see who's gone on just yet. I think it could be it is. It's Kirby Llewellyn, and he's replaced Renew for Tony out there. Bowden's now the man to fetch it forward, but he's going to be pulled down. Newton's in there, McCallan's in there, Jamie Doran's in there, and Plainly's still behind their own 40. Got a little bit of a roll on here. Mason Leno then gets it, found the gap there, and it's just pulled down at the last minute by Guy Graham of all people with an ankle tap, as Kai Rodwell was nearly through there. Booth in at dummy half. They've made it to the Whitehaven 30 of Trinity. Comes across then to Jay Pitts. Pitts then out the back to Liam Kerr. Kerr then runs it forward. Jumped by Lachlan Hannigan. Ryan King involved. The 23 metres out now. Doyle's in there at dummy half. It is the 5 and last. Trying not be wrapped up there. He then puts a kick crossfield. Joey Romeo's going to be there. Collects it. To be fair, it's ended up being a good kick from Thomas Doyle, and the Wakefield chase on top of it, despite what's a stuffy end to the set. And he's going to play this 3 metres out, trying to get a play of the ball there. Jamie Doran's in there, come down the short side, then to Curtis Tier. Tier's going to be wrapped up. Second tackle, still only around about 5 metres away from his own line there. Slow play of the ball. Curtis Tier's wanting an infringement or something from referee Kevin Moore. If Rio Corkill's now doing the hard yards. Third tackle and still on their own 10 metres here at Whitehaven. Ross Ainley's the man now to fetch it forward. Ainley's the man pulled down 15 metres away from his own line. Jamie Doran looking for the early kick, potentially looking for the 20-40. It's going to find touch, but it's 7 metres short of the 20-40 there. But good game management from Jamie Doran, just trying to get his side down the field, and realised he can slow the player down by forcing the scrum.
Yeah, I was just going to comment about Mason Leno on Wayfield's right hand side. He'll be pulling all the strings on this side, and he give a lovely ball there. He just double pumped it, and then obviously the Haven defender he took it, and as I say, I think it was Guy Graham just got his hands to the ankle. But as I say, he's going to be there most of the game there today, just doing what he does. And as I say, he's a class halfback.
Llewellyn fetches the ball forward from the turnover ball. Comes out now, a couple of pairs of hands then to Mason Leno, then out the back to Jowett, then over the top to Jermaine McGilvray. McGilvray then looking to try and step back inside, gets away from Tier, but he's going to be stopped eventually by Joey Romeo and Owen McCarran. 20 metres out now are Wakefield. Rodwell's in there at dummy half, then going to come across to Leno. Leno then comes across to Pitt, then to Kerr, then comes out the back to Jowett. Jowett then comes across then to Ollie Pratt. Pratt in that left hand side corner. Has he grounded it? He'll have done very well if he has. Fantastic finish from Pratt on that left hand side. Wakefield shifted the ball from right to left, and Pratt's grounded the ball in that left hand side corner. It's his 6th try of the season, and it's took until just before the 20th minute. But here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online, Wakefield going for their first of the afternoon.
Yeah, again, I've just mentioned that guy Mason Leno. He took the ball as if he was going to take it forward, and then he spread it out to his left hand side, and Liam Kerr passed the ball over to Pratt there. They had the numerical advantage over in the corner, and really he could have passed it to his winger, but as I say, he just snuck it in the corner to get the first score for Wakefield, you know, and Wakefield look a very good outfit, which they should be. I mean, obviously, as I've said about they've got a lot of Super League experience in their team, and what they've been looking for. I mean, they were a bit rattled early on with a couple of sets that they put down and that, but you know, I think that's just going to steady them, and you know, and the message will be going on now through Danny Kerman now is just to settle down and just complete your sets, and that's all they've got to do at this level. Obviously, you can hear the defence when they're going into the tackle. They're absolutely smashing the opposition with some of the tackles. You can hear the thuds from here. So, you know, I wouldn't like to be down there, tell you the truth, but you know, this is what it is now from these. They're looking quite well and quite established.
It's going to be Jowett to line up the conversion. Clock is stopped. 20 minutes and 35 seconds gone. And it's going to be Jowett. 4 metres on the straight, but right on that popular side touchline. Going to come on it right footed. Clock back on. Jowett. Judged to have knocked it over there as Max Jowett. That's his 90th goal of the season in just 16th appearance. Somewhat crazy numbers, isn't it, really? But means here at BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online at the Recreation Ground, Championship Round 9, Whitehaven 0, Wakefield Trinity 6.
Yeah, Whitehaven's been going well. They've completed every set that they've got. So, you know, even though it's only 6-0, I mean, really, you know, stats don't lie. They've got to look after the ball, and they have been looking after the ball and being a bit clever what Wakefield are. But obviously Wakefield's got the first score, so what they've got to keep doing is just doing what they've been doing before and just stopping them.
Fetching the ball forward from the kick-off. Wakefield, I think that could be Matua Koza, who's out there now for Trinity. No, my apologies, it was Ueli. But then they've got to fast play the ball now. Doyle in there at dummy half. Lino then gets the ball away to Jay Pitts. Pitts is trying to go around one. It's going to be stopped there. Combination of King and Graham. Made it to 32 metres away from their own line. Sorry, 42 metres, 8 short of halfway. Just over the halfway line now. Be Matty Hashurst on that left-hand side. 5 short of the Whitehaven 40. Doyle in there. Then comes across then to Pitts. Pitts runs it across the line, then finds Lino. Lino then out the back to Max Jowett, but that was perfectly read by Curtis Tier. Knew exactly what was coming and has stopped Jowett there on his own 42 away from his own line. It's then going to be Dean Gebby to collect the ball that was put along the floor, trying to find a space there. There's a Papua New Guinean. And you've seen him in his previous weeks, Peter. He's looking a lot fitter and a lot stronger than he did in his earlier appearances in a Whitehaven shirt.
Yeah, he's looking for that gap. As I say, he's one of them mavericks that you've got in your team, and as I say, that's what you need. Just the opposition don't know what he's going to do either.
Dan Highmarsh out now there to replace Guy Graham. 22 and a half gone. It's now going to be Highmarsh to fetch his ball forward. The Castleford Loney is going to be pulled down just short, or just over the halfway line. Newton in there at dummy half. Is going to go right down to Hannigan. Hannigan's going to go for the early kick. Is it a fresh set of 6? Judged not to have been played at by referee Kevin Moore. The Wakefield man did turn his back into the challenge, which technically means that should be a fresh set of 6, but nothing coming. Going to be a high tackle there on Ross Ainley. You can see there that it was Kai Rodwell, the man judged to have hit Ross Ainley high there, and that's only the second penalty of the game. Both of them going in favour of Whitehaven. We're going to have a stoppage here, but that's also going to be key for Whitehaven and to stay in this game as long as they can, Peter. That, and I'm just pointing out that shows they haven't conceded any penalties so far, stays as low as it can this afternoon.
Well, that's what I said, you know. If you complete your sets and you're well disciplined, I mean, you're halfway there towards, you know, stopping or quelling your opposition. So them the little things that you've got to do. You may be not in control of them, but as I say, if you keep giving high shots away and, you know, and lying on to play the ball, obviously, you know, you're not as disciplined as what you have been, and you're not being honest to your club or your supporters.
So Jamie Doran's going to put the kick in from the penalty, and Whitehaven going to start this set 22-23 metres out here. Tia then comes across then to Dan Highmarsh. Highmarsh is trying to keep his legs pumping, and he's going to play these 20 metres out. Newton in there at dummy half, just to the left hand side of the post. In the hands now with Jamie Doran. Out the back then to McCarran. McCarran then looking to come back inside, but it's well stopped by Noah Booth. The youngster in at centre this afternoon. Jamie Doran running across the line now, then comes across then to Hugh Worthington. Looked to be doing a job in at loose forward as Worthington. 8 metres out now, right hand side of the post, but he's judged to have knocked on there when he's hit the floor from that tackle by Hugh Worthington. Disappointed with that. He feels he's kept hold of it, but referee Kevin Weir disagrees, and I've still never met a referee yet that wants to make a decision to change their mind. Scrum down, heading for to Wakefield, 10 metres out.
Yeah, that's Whitehaven's first, incomplete set, and really they haven't done bad up until now, about 25 minutes I would say, going from there. But as I said, what they've got to be doing now is putting some pressure on Wakefield now, when obviously Whitehaven haven't got the ball, and trying to force that header again. But as I say, we'll see how it's going.
Luke Bain getting ready to come on down below us for Trinity as McGilvray is fetching this ball from the scrum. He's pulled down 18 metres away from his own line. Doyle in there. Is it now Rodwell? Rodwell's there. Oh no, it's Booth. He's then met by McCarran, and Worthington involved there as well. Comes across then to Ueli. Ueli met by a combination 3 of Ainley, Hindmarsh and Newton, but he's able to still get the ball away there into the hands of Thomas Doyle. Now finds Liam Kay. Kay looks to step back inside, but then he's pulled down by Hindmarsh and Hannigan. Doyle goes left into the hands of Jowett, then goes across then to Ollie Pratt. Pratt looks to come back inside. Doyle now finds Kay. Comes across then to Leno. Leno gets away from Jamie Doran. Just had to stand up, does Leno. He's got a Whitehaven defence in front of him. It's going to be Ross Ainley that's trying to wrap him up and fetch him down. He's the 5 and last. 25 metres out of Wakefield. Centre field. Elect to go left into the hands of Liam Kay. Kay's going to put the kick. High-ish. Going to be collected there by Oscar Doran, but then he's just nearly pushed back behind his own line as soon as he hits the floor there. He's the youngster, and he plays. He's 2 metres away from his own line. Rio Corkill now looking to do the hard yards. Lucas Castle is the man to come onto the field. He's going to replace Ross Ainley. It's now Joey Romeo who's going over from the opposite wing to try and help his teammates out here, but he's being pushed back. He's the New Zealander. So still playing this sort of 2 metres out of Whitehaven. Gebby in there at dummy half. He's trying to find a little bit of a gap there once again, scooting from dummy half. He's made 7 or 8 metres there. Has the Papua New Guinean. Newton in at dummy half now. Comes across then to Jamie Doran. Doran then finds Tia. Tia then looking to try and see if he can find a gap. Throws the offload. Is it going to be the penalty here for Whitehaven? It's going to be ruled a knockout. McCannon was taken down. He's going to be judged to have been that he'd knocked on first before he was taken out, though. Owen McCannon without ball in hand, so judged that the ball had hit his hand. I understand why Curtis T has gone for it, but do you wait and just try and kick it deep on the next tackle, Peter?
Well, of course you do, really. You're coming on an exit set, you're trying to fetch the ball out, you're trying to be smart and clever, but they're smart and clever in different ways and what you've got to be doing, and now all Curtis T has done now is he's put the pressure back on Whitehaven's defence by just a silly offload, really, that it didn't need to be passed, but as I say, that's what it is. And here's Wakefield on the attack now with massive pass. Mason Leno is going to hit now Liam Kay, and he's got 4 or 5 on the outside of him here now.
Still waiting for the scrum to be reformed. Leno going to fade the scrum. Doyle's out there at the back as well, so it could be him that throws his pass, but it's actually Leno that's going to come round into that A position, and it's going to then find Kay. Kay's then going to be wrapped up 10 metres out here. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online, live from the Recreation Ground. Championship Rugby League. They've gone left into the hands of Naboli Pratt. Pratt trying to get over for his second of the afternoon, but he's pulled down only a metre short. Alford's in there at dummy half. Comes across a couple of pairs of hands. It's going to bounce into the hands of Leno from Liam Kay. Runs across the line and then gets it across then to Kai Rodwell. Rodwell's nearly through the line. He's pulled down only 5 metres short. Doyle's in there at dummy half. Then comes across then to Ueli. Ueli's going to be pulled down 2 metres short, just to the right hand side of the post, attacking the railway end here are Wakefield. Then Mason Leno comes across to Kay. Kay gets away from Lachlan Hannigan, offers the offload back to Leno. Leno's then looking to get the pass in, finds Ueli. Ueli looks to step back inside, going to get away from McCarran. 3rd or 4th attempt, eventually Wakefield are taken down. It's a 5 and last now, 2 or 3 metres out. Doyle's in there at dummy half, going to come left into the hands of Pitts. Pitts then comes across to Matty Ashurst, and Ashurst should get that ball down, and he does on that left hand side as Matty Ashurst. The Whitehaven defence tried their hardest to try and keep him up there, but just used his strength and his power there, did Matty Ashurst, to go over on that left hand side. 5th try of the season for Ashurst, and it's Haven 0, Trinity 10.
Curtis Taylor will be ruining his his effort to throw that ball there on the 20-metre line from there on the fourth tackle, and really it's cost them dearly because they put a lot of pressure on the Haven line there. Wakefield, they seem to be getting in the swing of things now by moving things about, and Mason Leno and Liam Kerr being at the heart of everything they've done. So it was a good try for Ashurst. He just found a one-on-one, just managed to rotate his body and put the ball down about 10-12 yards to the left-hand side of the post. So I wouldn't have thought that Max Jowitt's got any difficulty in trying to put this kick over to get a 12-0 lead for Wakefield.
Shouldn't have too much issue, but I'll always say I've seen them miss some right in front, so it's never over until it's over. We'll go around from scores elsewhere around rugby league so far this afternoon. London 0, Hull KR 28. The Hull KR with 22-0 up in that one after about 12 minutes. Salford 0, Wigan 18, dropping down into the Championship. A full-time score, Batley 21, Bradford 20. It's Barrow 0, Featherstone 6. Latest score, Halifax 12, Doncaster 0. Swinton 16, York Knights 0. Dropping down into League 1, full-time score, Hunslet 42, Cornwall 16. Hurricanes 6, North Wales Crusaders 10. Keighley 12-0 up against Oldham in the battle of the top two in League 1, and it's Newcastle 0, Rochdale 16 back at the Gateshead International Stadium. Max Jowett has been able to knock over the extras, so it's Haven 0, Wakefield 12. And you mentioned a few minutes ago, Pete, that Whitehaven hadn't really had any incomplete sets. Obviously that one then with Hugh Worthington where he was close to the Wakefield line, but then that one where probably going to be made to rue that one because that offload comes in from Curtis Tier. 5 players later, Matty Ashurst goes over.
Well, they really didn't look like they were in shape to take the ball, and I think Adeni Gebby was pushing off the inside, but as I said, that pass was never on, and really should have just kept all of it and find a bit of turf somewhere down the field. But as I say, they've been punished on 2 occasions there.
Ueli fetching the ball forward from kick-off, met then by the chorus of Whitehaven defenders, Newton, Castle and Dan Hanmarsh all involved, and it's going to be a penalty for, I'm imagining it can only be for holding on too long in the tackle, and not what Whitehaven needed, conceding their first penalty of the afternoon, and it is Marcus not square, and he was right on that one, Kevin Moore, because the ball had literally just hit the ground.
Well, give him his due. I mean, there's only been about 3 penalties. I think that's my ball now, nearly. I think he's only give 3 penalties away, so it just shows you that both teams are, they're heeding the discipline rule, obviously, of what both coaches have been telling them. So he hasn't been too whistle happy either, and that's what you want to see. You want to see 2 teams going at it rather than the referee blowing his whistle.
A similar performance from what we saw in Widnes last week from Mr. Moore, as he was Whitehaven's referee in that draw at Widnes last week. But Wakefield are now fetching it forward. The change is going to be rung by Jonty Gawley. Brett Bailey and Jake Carter getting ready to come on in Whitehaven's next attacking set down below us, as Ueli's now fetching it forward, met by Worthington and James Newton, pulled down exactly 30 metres out now. Trinity, centre field, Doyle's in there at dummy half, goes left to Liam Kerr, then offers it just across then to Ashurst. Ashurst is going to be the man who continues to fetch it forward. He's made sort of 4 to 5 metres despite having 3 Whitehaven defenders holding on to him. Kerr now comes across then to Ueli. Ueli then finds Leno. Leno then offers it to Rodwell. Rodwell's trying to spin out to the tackle of Jamie Doran, and it's Doran, McCarran and Tier. Shout of knock on from Curtis Tier, trying to go scoot from dummy half on the 5 and last to Wakefield, and it is going to be pulled down. It'd be Noah Booth that was trying to scoot from dummy half and try and get over for what would be only his 2nd try of the season, but it's going to be a turnover ball instead. But Whitehaven yet again, Peter, starting 2 or 3 metres away from their own line.
Well, as I say, wasn't it? I said they're going to push him over the line here, but as I say, it wasn't a bad thing maybe from Noah Booth to finish right on the line, but the discipline just cost them there for Wakefield. Somebody said something and did something there, so they've took the pressure off.
Yeah, so it's going to be Jay Carter is out onto the field. He's replaced James Newton, which I imagine we're going to see Jamie Doran, I should say, dropping in to the hooking role, as we have seen him in previous weeks. So Brett Bailey still getting ready to go out down below us. So it's now going to be Tia that takes a tap from the penalty. Trying to play this ball. Should be another penalty, and it's going to be another penalty. Wakefield guilty of letting Whitehaven off the hook here. Back-to-back penalties. And where Whitehaven was playing this ball 2-3 metres away from their own line, following this Jay Carter kick, only 2 actual tackles later, both of which have had penalties, Whitehaven should be well over halfway. Kick's going to be, Jake Carter gets Whitehaven to exactly halfway. So Romeo's then going to collect the ball. It's going to be Tia on the tap. The kick takes in, then Romeo comes in from the touchline to fetch it forward. It's made 10 metres there as Joey Romeo, so he's playing this ball 40 metres away from the Trinity line. McCarran's in there at dummy half, then comes across to Dan Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh is going to make 10 metres himself. Doran in there at dummy half, then goes across, obviously odd, but then collects it himself. Lachlan Hannigan then finds Rio Corkill. There's space on that right hand side there. It's going to be Brett Bailey to replace Hugh Worthington. So then comes across back inside now to Hannigan, then comes across to Lucas Castle. Just had to bend his back slightly there, did Castle. Slightly lower than he would have wanted, but he's 12-13 metres out. It's been a good 10 minutes and Whitehaven have been in this sort of position. Then comes across to Hannigan. Hannigan comes across to Carter. Carter then across to Curtis Tia. Tia, if he can just get that ball away, does go into the hands of Jay Carter. Carter looks to step back inside. Ball's being dropped there from Jay Carter, and there's going to be no advantage on this, so we're going to come back for the scrum. Whitehaven try to come on this left hand side, some enterprise and play, but Carter just couldn't keep hold of the ball.
Yeah, I don't know what the referee is going to give here. Oh, he's giving Wakefield. I think it looked like.
You think it was maybe a one-on-one?
Yeah, it looked like it was, but as I say, until the referee just put his arm out to the left hand side there and signalled that it was Wakefield's ball, and I didn't know whether there'd been a hand in there. And as I say, that's what goes on now with these little touches and whatever. But as I say, the Wakefield's now got the ball, and it's up to Whitehaven just to force a little bit of pressure on them. As I said, the last three sets Whitehaven have been incomplete, so the next set what they've got to be doing, and it is exactly what, not giving any penalties away, just what they've done, and made them clear the line.
Daryl Alford's caught judged to have been ruled high there, or caught high I should say, and you could just see he just sort of threw himself back in the tackle and then looked at the referee, Daryl Alford, says, well, are you going to give anything? And it was a good few seconds later till referee Kevin Murray decided that he was going to. But it's then going to be Jowett that's going to look to trying to put the kick into touch. He's trying to get as many metres on it as he can. Just
a sign of tiredness as well, Jordan. As I say, you're not being disciplined when you haven't got the ball. You're tackling up high as well.
4 minutes to go to the half-time break as we make it here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. It's Hervin 0, Trinity 12. Doyle comes right into the hands of Pitts, then obviously it's off to Ueli. Ueli's going to be pulled down 40 metres out. Doyle in there at dummy half, going to come right down into the hands of Mason Leno. Leno then out the back now to Jowett. Jowett then just pulled down by Curtis Tia with an ankle tap. Carter completes the tackle, then comes across to Doyle. Runs it across the line, does Thomas Doyle. Then finds, is it Luke Bain who's out there? Baines, is he going to be pulled down by Adine Gebby? I'll tell you what, that's a fantastic recovery tackle from Adine Gebby, because it should have been a certain 4-pointer. Is that going to be a 4-pointer now? It is, so it only stopped them for just a second there, and it's Thomas Doyle that's dove over from dummy half. Fantastic recovery tackle from Adine Gebby, but it was all in vain eventually, because just short of the half-time break, 3 minutes before, Thomas Doyle's gone over for what is his second try of the season. Hervin 0, Trinity 16.
Yeah, that's come down from, if you look back at it, from Jake Carter when he dropped the ball, and obviously the penalty got given away, so it was just an error after another error. And as I say, you can't keep giving these errors away. I mean, your discipline's gone. Obviously, Whitehaven's going to be a bit tired because Wakefield's probably had they've only had a couple more sets with the ball than what Wakefield have, but they haven't been as assertive as what Wakefield have with the ball today. So Wakefield's more than likely they're going a lot more north, and Whitehaven's going a bit east and west at the times, but as I say, they've got to be. That's probably the difference between the semi-professional team and more likely the full-time team.
You spoke about it obviously early doors, or Whitehaven had continued to complete. They hadn't given many penalties away. Then just in sort of last 5-10 minutes you can see where Wakefield started to get on top, because Whitehaven their medals have started to slide into the game, Peter, and they're being punished here for it.
Well, they have done. They've been talking out the offload from Curtis Tia and the drop ball there from Jake Carter and the indiscipline from there. So they all add up at the end of the day, and you've got to be in charge of that. You've got to be disciplined with the ball and without the ball. So it's come back to bite them just before half time.
Jowett comes at it right-footed, slots it right over the black dot. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Whitehaven 0, Wakefield Trinity 18 here at the recreation ground. Just see some scores from elsewhere. Hull KR's now 38-0 up in the capital. Swinton's 22-0 up now against the York Knights. Keighley has gone to 18-0 up against Oldham, and Midlands are back in front 12-10 against North Wales. That is a somewhat surprising scoreline coming in from Cougar Park. Obviously the top two are in there, obviously, with that, but many expecting Oldham to go unbeaten. It's not going to happen currently. That kick-off comes through, collected by Leno, then finds Ueli. We make it 50 seconds to go here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online till the half-time hooter. Pitts then finds Kay, gets it across to Pratt. Pratt looks to come back inside. He's wrapped up by Corkill and Lachlan Hannigan. 35 away from their own line here at Trinity. Kay now comes across the pitch. Ball dropped by Luke Bain, and Whitehaven could have a final opportunity here before the half-time out to try and get some points on the board. It's going to be Castle to play this ball. Fresh set of 6. Brett Bailey fresh onto the field in the last few minutes. Doran in there at dummy half, going to come right opposite, and then puts the pass into Hannigan, then comes across to Ryan King. King gets away from one, trying to find the space here. Obviously it does Ryan King, but elects to go himself. 12 metres out, we make it a few seconds to go. Then comes across to Jamie Doran, Lachlan Hannigan, then comes across then to Rio Corkill. Corkill's going to be wrapped up. We make it time's up, so in an injury time as we would make it here at the recreation ground. Slow play the ball as Corkill gets up now, then comes across to Lucas Castle. Runs it forward, does the Australian, onto his back. 10 metres out, right hand side of the post. Jamie Doran's in there at dummy half. Comes across, but little Nick kick through. And it's going to be come off the Wakefield man, then dived on by Jay Pitts. And Wakefield should have just have enough to round this set out, because I can see the timekeeper's hands on the hooter. And now there it sounds here at the recreation ground. Half time here. It is Whitehaven 0, Wakefield Trinity 18 here on the BBC Sport app and website for BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. It's going to be collected by Jake Carter, then finds Lucas Castle. Castle's going to be wrapped up 17-18 metres away from his own line. Jamie Doran's in there at dummy half, finds Dan Hindmarsh, keeps his legs pumping, does the Castleford Loney before being pulled down 25 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Doran then finds Brett Bailey, the youngster on loan from St Helens. He's been dragged back a metre or two in centre field, 30 metres away from his own line here. Then comes across now to Ryan King. King's trying to get away from the Wakefield defence, but pairs it 12 short of halfway. Eddie and Gebinal, then back inside to Hannigan, then finds King once again. Back-to-back effort here for Ryan King. Takes Whitehaven over halfway. It's going to be the 5 and last. 5 over halfway here. Jamie Doran in there, going to come right into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put it end over end. Jarrett's going to have to come forward to grab it, and he does. Not too much pressure put on him, but met there then by Lachlan Hannigan and Rio Corkill. Good first set there, Peter, and what have Whitehaven got to do in this second half?
Yeah, what they've got to be doing is, you know, what they did at the start of the first half towards the back end. I mean, be disciplined, look after the ball, you know, finish in the right areas, finish in the, you know, the 10-yard quarter line where the corner flag is, and you know, and just pen Wakefield in. But as I said, there's a knock on there from Wakefield.
And what they've got to be doing then is they've got to be taking advantage of opportunities and errors like that, because they're going to be few and far between from this Wakefield side.
And they've got to be patient when they come to the line. I know that Wakefield have been bob on with the defence there. I mean, they're shooting out the line and they're known who to hit. Whatever, obviously they've done a lot of video work on Whitehaven, so you know, Darryl Powell will leave no stone unturned with his defensive stuff and his attacking stuff, but he'll just keep it simple, and that'll be in the message at half time from both coaches.
So Whitehaven here, it's going to have an opportunity. Lachlan Hannigan's going to feed the scrum 35 metres away from the Featherstone Wakefield line. Comes into the hands end of Curtis Tia. That's because I've just got the Featherstone score in front of me. To apologise to any Trinity fans that may be tuning in. There's going to be a 6 again here for Whitehaven, however. Lucas Castle now. First 6 again of the game. There was one in the first half, but come more off a ricochet rather than an infringement. Comes across now to Jake Carter. Carter then comes across to Bailey. Gets his head down. 12 metres out here in line with the left hand side post, attacking the railway end in the second half of Whitehaven. Coming across then to Lachlan Hannigan, out the back then to Jake Carter. Carter then finds Gebby over the top then for Oscar Doran. Doran has to then try and come back inside, push towards a touchline, but able to find the turf before being found in touch. Corkill then finds Hannigan, finds Lucas Castle. Castle looks to step back inside, throws the offload away to Jamie Doran. Doran then with a long pass wide into the hands of Curtis Tier. Tier's trying to get on the outside then of Noah Booth. Pulled down is Curtis Tier, 9 metres out. Then comes it back inside to Jake Carter, finds Brett Bailey. Bailey's pulled down, 5 and last. Left hand side of the post, 2 metres out. Doran's in there. Then going to come across, puts a little knee kick forward. Ricochets everywhere into the hands of Brett Bailey. Brett Bailey's trying to twist and turn. Judged not to have been played up by Wakefield, so still remains 5 and last. And it's going to be a handover ball. You can hear the Jonty goalie's not happy with that, and neither are the coaching staff down below was Peter Smith.
No, I mean, it looked like he put his leg out to make a play at that ball there, and I mean, all I can think of there is the referee might have been unsighted with what he's got, but as I say, he'll be wide up to his two touch judges, and I think Wakefield got away with that one there.
So Alfert is now looking to fetch his ball forward on the second tackle, gets away from one, gets away from the second. You're not going to get away from Ryan King at a second attempt, and trying to drag him now there. He's not happy with something there, Ryan King, and he's just making sure that Daryl Alford certainly knows about it. Completed that tackle with Rio Corkle. Ueli then met by Jamie Doran, bounced off there does Jamie Doran, gets the off all the way does Ueli with 2 men around him. Liam Kay is then going to be the man to be taken down. 38, well no, I'm going to call it 40 metres now exactly away from his own line. 6 again. So he said there wasn't any in the first half. We've had 2 now in the first 4.5 minutes of the second half. 1 for either side. So Pitts plays the ball. Doyle in there at dummy half. Going to come left to Kay. Kay then finds Ashurst. Fantastic tackle there, is it, from Lachlan Hannigan. Just caught Ashurst exactly where you should and took him down there, as then Hannigan involved in the tackle once again on Ollie Pratt. Bailey involved there as well. 35 out from the Whitehaven line of Trinity. Goes into the hands of Leno. Leno then gets it across to Rodwell and takes some good Whitehaven defence to stop Rodwell in his tracks. 23 metres out. Doyle in there at dummy half. Comes across then to Leno. Leno runs with it. Then puts the pass out to Kay. Then finds Jowett. Knew what were coming there with Whitehaven and tried to stop it, but Jowett then span out of that tackle. Then finds Jay Pitts. Pitts is going to be the man wrapped up. 10 metres out near here now at Wakefield. Centre field in there. Doyle then just drops it clean from dummy half. It was a scruffy sort of ruck area with Dan Hindmarsh just lying there, couldn't get out of the way because Thomas Doyle was standing over the top of him, so it wasn't the cleanest area, and I think that's done Thomas Doyle there, but it's going to be a turnover ball. 5.5 gone in the second half.
Oh, Wakefield did on that last set. They made Lachlan Hannigan, double up on his efforts. They're doing about 3. He's doing about 3 tackles all in one, and he was coming back in that line there, and that's what you don't want. You want to protect your half-backs from making that work, because obviously once you've got the ball, obviously they're going to be no good for nothing really. They won't have no energy, so what they've got to be doing is taking a bit of heat off him, and if he's anything about him, he can find himself some hidey holes in the defensive line.
So Whitehaven looking to fetch this ball forward here. They're being pinned just over their own 20. Comes down the short side to Hannigan. Hannigan then looks to, I think he was looking for someone on his outside. It was Oscar Doran that was there. He's then going to be knocked on here. It's going to be a knock on. It's going to be, I think Whitehaven's got away with one there. I really think they've got away with one. I think Lachlan Hannigan had just dropped that ball clean, whether it was shout to held and then continue to drag him, I'm not too sure. It's a sign of maybe of ripping the ball out, and I don't think that. I think, Peter, disagree with me if you want, but I think Whitehaven have got away with one.
No, I think you're right, but I think the other one just equals it up there from before, so it's 1-on-1 really, and it just looked like he dropped it. But as I said, I was talking about him having some energy with the ball. He just looked like he had no energy with the ball on that last set, because he would have been tired, taking them big forwards of Wakefield.
It's going to be McCarran. Whitehaven trying to play here and are very happy to play. Then going to go back, come off, sort of ball come off. McCarran's arm was hit. Lost the ball, it's gone backwards into the hands of Diane Hindmarsh. So Hindmarsh is wrapped up, 35 out. Doran's in now there at dummy half. Jamie, of course, finds Lucas Castle. Offload comes and now into the hands of Adine Gebby on the bounce. The Papua New Guinean fullback's wrapped up, 22 metres out here. Jamie Doran's in there at dummy half. just offers it up to Brett Bailey. Bailey's wrapped up 18 metres away, in line with the right hand side post, attacking the railway end. Doran scoots, then finds Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan looks to step back inside, and just going to be the ankle tap comes in for Ueli. Hannigan's then going to be picked up and dumped backwards. 10 metres out now. It is the 5 and last. Jamie Doran's in there. Then going to come left into the hands of Carter. Carter's going to go left footed cross field. Is it over the top of McGilvray? Can he get there? Has he got it down to Curtis Tear? Tear's got the ball down on that left hand side. It was a 1-on-1 challenge, McGilvray and Romeo. And Romeo just put McGilvray off and off. The ball bounced down. Booth was there. Curtis Tear was there. It's Tear that reacts the fastest. Whitehaven get their first of the afternoon. It's Haven 4, Trinity 18.
Yeah, real scruffy set that, and Whitehaven got something out of it, but it was just a bit of a hopeful kick from Jake Carter from a pass from Jamie Doran. He put the kick in there, and McGilvray looked like he had it no problem. Obviously he got palmed down for some reason, and that's what you've got to be doing there. You've got to making them balls that go up, making them a challenge, and if you don't make them a challenge, it's just going to make it easier. But if 2 years are going up for a ball, obviously there's going to be a chance that somebody's going to get it, and Curtis Terry, he just got the ball there on the left hand side. He managed to swivel around and put the ball down probably about 2 or 3 yards from the corner. So from that scruffy set, they've got something out of it, but it wasn't too well
choreographed.
Choreographed, made, whatever you want to call it. But as I say, it's done the trick, and hopefully if Jake Carter can add the two, it'll give them a bit of energy in the tank.
Curtis Tear's third try of the season. Carter comes at it left footed. That's fantastic from Jake Carter. That is absolutely fantastic. Nails it right from the touchline. Comes at it left footed. Obviously missed out last week where Lachlan Hannigan had took over the goal kicking, but able to resume the duties this afternoon, and it's going to be Haven 6, Trinity 18. And if Haven are to get anything from this game, Peter, that's the start they needed.
Well, of course it is, yeah. I mean, give them a little bit of pep from there, and rev them up. But as I say, they've got to be looking after the ball. Wakefield's been very scruffy with the 3 sets they've had. They've only completed the 1 in these early days, but the message will have been going on for them. You just tidy things up.
So kick-off comes deep, collected on the full by Jay Carter, who then finds Lucas Castle. The Australian fetches it forward, and he's stopped there in his tracks, 12-13 metres away from his own line. Doran in there at dummy half, then comes across to Owen McCarran. McCarran is going to be stopped just a metre short of the 20. Jamie Doran trying to direct traffic in there at dummy half, goes down the short side into the hands of try scorer for Whitehaven in Curtis Tear. Spins out of one, does Curtis Tear, but soon wrapped up. Takes 4 Wakefield defenders to fetch him down. Trying to get a fast play of the ball. You can hear what the Whitehaven crowd behind us think of that. Adingaby's nearly through. Papua New Guinea in. He's done that so often, just not got what he needed to this afternoon. Jamie Doran then gets a quick scoop from dummy half and has the Wakefield defence at 6s and 7s. Gets the offload away. He's going to have to dive on it. It's Mason Leno that dives on it. Whitehaven just getting a bit ahead of themselves there. Feel that it was on, and they've done it a few times so far this afternoon, and it's been whether 50-50, whether it's come off on that occasion. It hasn't.
Yeah, a bit.
Is that a knock on? It is going to be a knock on. So it's going to be Noah Booth. It's going to be the man to have judged to have lost that, but no, it's a penalty. He initially gave a knock on. He did initially give a knock on. Did referee Kevin Moore. They must have had a shout from a touch judge, because he's now going to give the penalty.
Yeah, he's got that shout from the touch judge there. Obviously, he put his hand there to say that it was going to be scrummed down and whatever. The Whitehaven lads were jumping up and down thinking they're going to get the ball back, but obviously he must have had a shout from his colleague there on the touchline, and Whitehaven there have got to defend their own 10-metre line from now.
So Jowett puts the ball into touch. It's going to be no boot to take the tap, but we've had to stop because the ball that was kicked into touch has returned onto the field. It's now Leno from that tap. Comes across then to Luke Bain, who should have got that try when Thomas Doyle went over just before half time, but was pulled down short. Pitts then finds Caleb Ueli. Ueli's going to be put down onto his back, 12-13 metres out, left hand side of the post. Goes right into the hands of Liam Kay with the dummy. High Marsh is trying to stop him. Jamie Doran's trying to stop him. Dean Gebby's got involved. It's going to be the 5. No, it's not going to be the 5 and last. It's only going to be 5 metres out. Going to go right then into the hands of Kai Rodwell. Is Rodwell? Can he be stopped? I think the applause around us will tell you he hasn't been able to, and it's his first try of the season for Kai Rodwell, and Trinity have gone over on that right hand side, they've sewn it back and have put the lead back to Whitehaven 6, Wakefield Trinity 22.
Yeah, that was just a simple one-on-one, and really I think they were setting up for the shot to come from right to left and, you know, attack the Kells end, but you know, again, just a one-on-one tackle from Whitehaven there. Say, I don't know whether they're you know, they're too tired or whatever, but as I say, you know, they've had 10 minutes in the dressing rooms at half time, so you know, it was a bit poor on Whitehaven's part defensively. You know, and the message you'll be going on there, you know, just stick your one-on-ones. You've got to get these guys and stick them with the one-on-ones. You need numbers in tackle close to the line, and you've got to alter your body position to you know, to make sure that your opposition doesn't get over the line. On this occasion, you know, he found a way over, and you know, it's a poor try really by Whitehaven to let in, but as I say, you know, they've got a bit of hope with that try from Curtis Tate in the corner, but you know, what they need to be doing is a bit more like that, and they're just changing the two props on now with Tony and the other guy coming on, so it's, you know, it's going to be another tough ask with these big lads coming on.
Tony and Bowden back on the field to replace Bain and Uella. Still haven't seen Matua Koza or Harvey Smith, I don't think. Definitely haven't seen Harvey Smith. Don't think I've seen Matua Koza so far. Haven't seen Koza, no. So just the swapping interchanges at the starting props as Jowards add tags on the extras to remain 4 from 4 so far this afternoon. Well, remain 100% and now goes 4 from 4. It is Whitehaven 6, Wakefield Trinity 24, and just Whitehaven guilty again of just slightly overplaying, obviously going with the offload and then giving the penalty away, which allows Trinity the field position, Peter.
Around about the halfway 40 metre mark, that's what I say, they lost the ball, and again they've scored from the resultant penalty, so you know, there's something wrong there, isn't there?
Hannigan with the kick-off, goes deep, finds Leno, then finds now the returning Renew for Tony. Doran's in there, Lucas Castle's in there, who else was involved? As he's pulled down, it was Owen McCarron, pulled down 15 metres away from his own line. Continue to fetch the ball forward now, do the visitors. Have re-established a healthier lead here in West Cumbria on their first visit in 25 years. But Trinity continue to fetch his ball down the field. It's Rodwell who's going to be the man to be pulled down here. 38 away from his own line, 12 short. He's walked about 3 or 4 metres forward there, but he's been given a 6 again, and I'll be honest, I'm not too sure what for, but ball then hit the floor, so it's going to be a Whitehaven who're going to get the ball here anyways. No, it's going to judge to have come off a Whitehaven man, so it was the Whitehaven fans that were cheering. It's going to be a scrum down head and feet to Wakefield here. Oh, is it? Yes, it is. No, so it's in favour of Whitehaven. He's just thought, because he's just given the signal that you thought he'd come off the Whitehaven man, but that might have been a second knock on or whatever it may have been. So it's going to be Whitehaven here with scrum down head and feed, 5 metres into Wakefield territory. Going to have elected to go in centre field, Pete.
Yeah, they've got to be patient here. You know, build a bit of pressure on the Wakefield line, make them work for everything that they're trying to get. But you know, it's been a bit hurried and that at times. But you need a steady head once you're close to that line, and you know, somebody who's just going to put that pass through.
Calling for a third and a fourth attempt on Dean Gebbia, the coach and staff down below us, and some of the fans in the stands. And Owen McCarron is the man that's gone and taken the ball into the tackle. And we've got a play still going on. We've got a 6 or 7 man scrum in the background. It's then going to come into the hands of Ryan King. King's going to try and then come down. Still going on in back play. King's then going to be taken down. Just getting a bit feisty here at the recreation ground at the moment. So it's going to be Whitehaven that eventually have come back up with the ball. And it's Oscar Doran, the man now to fetch it forward. That's a shoulder charge. There's no arms involved. And referee's eventually going to give that penalty. It's a feisty 60 seconds or so there, Peter, wasn't it? It's really all no need in it.
It just got a bit nasty there, didn't it, really in there? But as I said, there's no real nastiness in the game anymore from when I know it. But as I said, I think the referee is just trying to put a lid on it here. He's just trying to calm both teams down, because I think he can sense that, you know, both teams are going to bubble over the pan, if you know what I mean.
He's just pulling out, is it Josh Bowden, I think he's having a word with, who's just fresh back onto the field there, is Bowden. and I think he's just waiting to see what's said. And trainers and water carriers are being allowed onto the field, so it is eventually going to be a penalty there for Whitehaven, and I imagine it's going to be a shoulder charge on Oscar Doran. So it's going to be Jamie Doran exactly on halfway with this kick, and he has found a good 30 metres there, is Jamie Doran. So Whitehaven going to start this 20 metres out from the Wakefield line. Corker with the tap, then finds Dan Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh then is taken down 11 metres out from the Trinity line, right hand side of the post, attacking the railway end. And Tony just wasn't moving. Jake Carter then comes across to Adingaby. Oh, the Papua New Guinean just couldn't keep hold there, and if he had, Whitehaven had an overlap on that left hand side. The pass wasn't the best to Adingaby and just had to reach, but he wasn't able to, was the Papua New Guinean, and it's going to be a scrum down head and feed to Wakefield. But they had numbers on that left hand side, Peter. They'd worked the overlap.
Yeah, they had numbers, and as I say, if Adingaby could have caught that ball, it looked like he had a clean run to the line, as well as the numerical advantage on the left hand side, but they haven't. And you know, both teams are deemed it scruffy this half. Both teams I mean, Wakefield's completed 2 out of 5 sets, and Whitehaven are on 3 from 6 as well, so both teams are guilty of not looking after the ball.
Just short of the hour mark here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. 58.5 minutes gone. Haven 6, Trinity 24, as Wakefield are now fetching this ball forward through with Kai Rodwell, but he's pulled down by McCarron. Bailey's in there, as is Dan Hindmarsh, and Doyle now finds Renew for Tony. But Tony's stopped by combination, well, mainly Lucas Castle. Jake Carter involved in the latter stages. It's now Bowden's fetched down. Brett Bailey 1-on-1 before Jamie Doran gets involved. 10 short of halfway here at Trinity. Kerr now just pops it back inside then to Matty Ashurst. Ashurst stopped. King, Hannigan, Hindmarsh all involved. It is going to be the 5 and last. Going to go right then from Doyle into the hands of Mason Leno. Leno with the spiralling bomb. Adingaby sets himself and gets underneath it, does the Papua New Guinean, but runs at Liam Kerr, and he's pulled down by a combination of Kerr and Pratt.
Yeah, good set there from Whitehaven, as I say, you know, finished off, and Adingaby, he made a difficult ball look very easy there, and but what Wakefield are doing is just trying to cut his time down, because they know how powerful and how elusive he can be in the broken field.
So it's Oscar Doran now, who's on the 3rd tackle. He's 8 short of halfway, then goes across to Jake Carter, then Curtis Tia looking to step back inside, but the Wakefield defence knew exactly what was coming there and was able to be wrapped up. Rodwell and Leno. Lucas Castle now he's put in a good stint out there following return from the shoulder issues that he's had, and gets the offload away to Jamie Doran. Now then finds Adingaby then finds Lachlan Hannigan. Can Hannigan get over? Can Lachlan Hannigan get over? Oh, he's just going to be pulled down. That is lost then by, it is lost. Fantastic tracking back there by Wakefield, and just the ball hit, as soon as the arm hit the floor from Lachlan Hannigan, he's just come loose out of the tackle. Whitehaven ever so close once again, but just fantastic recovery in defence from Wakefield. Just put enough pressure on Hannigan, and just over the hour mark it's going to be scrum down head and feed to the visitors. Yeah,
it was just off the cuff stuff, and that's which way you're going to be doing, scoring against Wakefield from here. It was a great offload from Lucas Castle. Jamie Doran took it forward, passed on the inside to Gebby, and Gebby found Lachlan Hannigan to try and get over there. Unfortunate for him, you know, the tackle made him spill the ball, but you know, it's a lot better there from Whitehaven on this occasion.
Matua Cossa getting ready to come on for the final sort of 19 minutes or so here for Wakefield, as the ball comes from the base of the scrum. The Wakefield man, which is Daryl Alford, is pulled down 18 away from his own line, and then Ollie Pratt comes in from the centre to take this ball forward, takes Trinity to 28 metres away from their own line, centre field. Doyle then comes across to McGilvray. Of course, former England international Jeddy McGilvray spent majority of his career at the Huddersfield Giants. Then comes across to Cossa, now fresh on the field, and when you're able to keep Matua Cossa off the bench for 60 minutes and then fetch him on, it just shows probably what the depth you've got in your squad, Peter.
Well, that's good on their part, really. I mean, Whitehaven's on this occasion today, they haven't even got an 18th man, which just shows you know how tough it is, and what a big ask it is to play against these guys today.
Mason Leno on the 5 and last, putting the high kick in. Gebby's underneath it, takes it there. There's Adingaby, and soon met by a Wakefield defence and trying to get a fast play of the ball, but Liam Kay's all over him. And then it's going to be a penalty because Liam Kay was absolutely all over him. I think he was trying to give him a cuddle or two. There was Liam Kay. He was that on top of a Dean Gebby. And it's going to be Jamie Doran who's going to look at putting this ball into touch. Coming our way, he's going to hit the roof above us and just nearly bangs onto the head of Daryl Alford. It's going to be Oscar Doran that's going to collect the ball from the touchline. Going to play this 5 short of halfway. Rio Corkill takes a tap, takes Whitehaven over that halfway line by 2 or 3 metres, being pushed back a metre or so by Liam Kay. Hannigan's in there at dummy half, comes across to Dan Hindmarsh. Trying to get forward there is Hindmarsh. It's a slow play of the ball, plays it on the 40, then Brett Bailey gets it across then to Jake Carter. Carter trying to find a gap there in the Wakefield defence and nearly broke through it, did Carter. Gebby in at dummy half. Lucas Castle now takes Whitehaven over the Wakefield 30. He's picked up there is Lucas Castle. You don't see that all that often. Centre field, Jamie Doran scoots. It's good work there from Thomas Doyle. He's trying to get the ball back inside to Hindmarsh, but pulled down before he could. It's the 5 and last. Hannigan's going to put the kick. Oscar Doran's going to try and get there ahead of Alferts, and he does there. Is it going to be a knock on? Is it going to be ruled an Oscar Doran knock on? Is it going to be ruled a Daryl Alferts knock on? I think this is going to be turnover ball, and it is. Yeah, it's going to be a turnover ball. It's going to come off the hand of Oscar Doran, and Wakefield are going to play this 10 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, again, a bit of a scruffy set that Whitehaven could have done something and nearly got something out of it in the end up, but Wakefield's turn to fetch the ball out from and do the hard yards from their own 10-yard line, and it's going to be tough. Both teams are getting tired now. They're getting towards the back end, and we'll just see which team controls the tackle the best from now.
So it's going to be then a Tony to fetch it forward. He finds Leno, then finds McGilvray. Could be the next sort of 15 minutes where tiring defences are, where McGilvray could find a gap or two, just like Matua Koza has there, and he's one-on-one there with a Dean Gebby. Is Koza tries to get away from the Papua New Guinean, but he's been able to be fetched down by Jake Carter. But the 20 metres out of Wakefield's going to go right then into the hands of Mason Leno. Leno's going to put the kick in over the top into the hands of McGilvray, and I've just said exactly where it could be. There could be spaces here for Jermaine McGilvray, and he's crossed over on this right hand side for just his 4th try of the season. However, it's only his 5th appearance on that right hand side. Fantastic crossfield kick from Mason Leno, and it's going to be Wakefield that cross for their 5th of the afternoon. It's in the 65th minute here at the recreation ground. It is Whitehaven 6, Wakefield Trinity 28.
Yeah, that came off the back of a good break. I think Mason Leno put Matthew Koza through, and he was looking for support there when he went down the middle. There was nobody there, and obviously from the resultant play of the ball, the ball came to Mason Leno, and he just showed his class right on it. He just put the kick inch perfect into Jermaine McGilvray's hands there, and he took it without no problem whatsoever. He put it down with about 5 or 10 yards away from the touch line, and it's going to leave Max Jowett another difficult chance. But as I say, he's nailed every one of them from beforehand, and I would say he's got a good chance of putting this one over as well. But it's putting Whitehaven on the back foot there with the back end of this set, and really they just want to come out of this game with something. Obviously just trying to put some plays together, but as I say, Wakefield's been good defensively most of the day. They've looked after the defence a lot better than they've looked after the ball, really. First half they were on 73% completion rate, Whitehaven 75, but as I say, for me, they're finishing their chances, and Whitehaven, they're not.
Jowett still lining up the conversion here. Comes at it right-footed, does Jowett. Tags on the extras once again, remains 100% does Max Jowett. He's 5 from 5 this afternoon, and that means it's Whitehaven 6, Wakefield Trinity 30, and Jonty Gawley's ran the changes out there. So Owen McCarran's left the field, Dan Hindmarsh has left the field alongside Brett Bailey out there. Guy Graham's returned, Ross Airling's returned, and Hugh Worthington has returned. So back to pretty much a starting lineup out there. apart from James Newton, who remains on the bench so far. We're into the final sort of 13 minutes or so here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Hannigan comes with the kick-off right towards Leno. Leno collects a metre short of his try line, then finds a Tony. Tony fetches it forward. He's met there by Jamie Doran. Guy Graham's involved, Ross Ailey's involved, but it's Castle and Jamie Doran who's in at marker. Then comes across to Liam Kay. Kay then gets it across out then to Pratt on this side. Pratt's then going to just be stopped there. Corkill and Hannigan. He's not happy with something there is Ollie Pratt. Alfords was getting involved there as well initially in sort of the tackle. He must have thought that Pratt was going towards the touchline, but he wasn't anywhere near, to be fair, and Alfords just didn't need to get involved. But Smith's out there now as well. He's replaced Thomas Doyle. That's Harvey Smith for Wakefield. As Jowett's going to look to step back inside. Max Jowett gets the offload away, fantastic. And it's going to be, ball hits the floor. Is it going to be a knock-on? It should be a knock-on from Wakefield, I think. But yet again, they're just on the expansive play here at Wakefield and not coming off for them on that occasion. And it's going to be scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven. Yeah, just making sure there. He was just having a look both ways as referee Kevin Moore. And with 12 minutes to go, Whitehaven are going to have a scrum down, head and feet 20 metres away from their own line. Yeah,
they're throwing the ball around now, Wakefield. Obviously, we're getting towards the back end of the game, and gaps are appearing, and again, Mason Leno was at the forefront of that attack from down there. He just couldn't get his hands to that final pass. Otherwise, he was going to be down, probably scored underneath the sticks just to finish off a fantastic display from himself.
The grandstand crowd just applauding Owen McCadden's efforts as he's just walked along. He was taken off for Hugh Worthington. So it's going to be Jamie Doran now in a dummy half, then finds Guy Graham. I'm just going to knock my effects mic off because I've just got Owen McCadden down here. Maybe just some fluids, I'm going to say, might come out of him, and he's quite close to it. So might go a little bit quieter than what you've had so far here at the recreation ground. But King plays the ball. Jamie Doran trying to look and go for the 40-20. Jowett's going to have to get there, and he does well there. Does Max Jowett. Read it really, really well. Did the Trinity to fall back and throws a dummy, and he's going to be down. It's just a last minute ankle tap that stops him in his tracks from Rio Corco, but still makes it to the halfway line there. There's Jowett. He's struggling here. He's Max Jowett. He's grabbed his knee straight away in that tackle. He's spun out to one there now as Ollie Pratt, but that could be Jowett's afternoon over, I think. It should be, considering you're 24 points up. Harvey Smith scooted from dummy half.
Sorry, Joe. I think it's just a dead leg for Max Jowett, and he's looked like he was going to break the line all afternoon. He's had a real solid display, taking the ball and obviously in attack as well.
Rodwell tries to step back inside now. Trinity are back within Whitehaven's 10 metres. Going to come left into the hands of Leno, then comes across then to it's Josh Bowden who's fetched down 2 metres short, and he's just holding his leg now at ankle area. He's Josh Bowden. So we're going to have a stoppage in play here. We make it exactly 10 minutes to go, and I can make it a little bit louder now at the recreation ground just because Owen McCadden has departed the microphone next to us. There you go. It's like being in crystal clear HD now compared to what it was there for slightly. But Bowden just needs some treatment. So it'll be interesting to see which way Trinity go with this. It is the 5 and last. Do you be cheeky? Do you knock on 1 point over? No, Peter, you shake your head, Peter.
No, I mean, you look where Mason Leno's going. I think they're set up to go to the right hand side. I think he's going to put a kick up there. Which is what are we going to be doing there? So he's got McGilvray on that far side to go and chase it. So it looks like it's coming towards him.
So one player, 5 and last, going to come left to Kay instead. Then comes across to Matty Ashurst. Matty Ashurst, he goes over on this left hand side. It's a forward pass. Forward pass then to Matty Ashurst. He would have been over for his second of the afternoon, but it's going to be a turnover ball instead, and it means that Whitehaven are going to play this 10 metres out. A few scores scored and slowed down in the capital. London 4, KR 58, Salford 6, Wigan 18, Barrow 24, Featherstone 12, Halifax 26, Doncaster 0, Swinton 22, York 0. Dropping down into League 1, Keighley 24, Oldham 6, Newcastle 18, Rochdale 22. Joey Romeo now has ball in hand. He's pushed back there 5, 6, 7, 8 metres. Seen that a couple of times, not just from Joey Romeo that's been pushed back, but he's been pushed back a couple of occasions. As Dean Gebby's now trying to find his way through. He's the Papua New Guinean, but he's pulled down on his own 20-metre line. Jamie Doran in there at dummy half. Incorrect play, the ball ruled by referee Kevin Moore, and it means it's going to be a handover ball. It's going to be scrum down essentially here for Trinity, and they're going to have another fresh set of 6, starting essentially in Whitehaven's red zone, Peter.
Yeah, they just take that extra half second just to put the foot on the ball. Obviously the referee's got them the clamp down this year on, you know, obviously playing the ball and, you know, high tackles and stuff like that, but as I say, that's criminal. You know, coming out your own line on the third tackle. They'll just put pressure back on themselves there now, so they're going to have to defend this set again, and which way Whitehaven's body language is looking. They're looking at letting another try in.
So going to come left from the base of the scrum, finds Liam Kay. Kay just stands up and takes the line on, doesn't look to get the ball out further. But Smith's going to be in there at dummy half, just to the left hand side of the post. It's a fresh set of 6 again now, called Cozza. He's pulled down 3-4 metres out in line with the right hand side post now. Harvey Smith going to elect to go right into the hands of Leno, then finds Rodwell. Rodwell's going to be stopped. Castle's in there, James Newton's in there, as you know, so it's Guy Graham. Jake Carter's involved there as well. James Newton, he was getting ready to come on, he's still getting ready to come on down below us. Josh Bowden's in there now, he fetches it forward. Lost a few metres of Trinity, maybe a bit more space for them to work in. Comes left to Leno. Leno then obviously to Kay. Kay then steps back inside. Hold on, I think he's got that down. He has. Referee Kevin Moore had thought he'd knocked that on, and I think, has he given it? No try. I think Liam Kay has had, and it's going to be a penalty for a shoulder charge instead. But Liam Kay sort of fumbled the ball initially, looked like he'd regathered it. I'll be honest, I thought he'd regathered it and got it down. I thought he should have been in for the 4-pointer. Judge says yes, it should have been a 4-pointer. Referee Kevin Moore was walking away from it. Initially it wasn't look like he was just going to give a knock on, and then eventually he's decided to give a penalty for the shoulder charge, which no one in the ground else saw apart from him.
Well, I think he thought that he'd knocked the ball on, but Liam Kay had managed to gather the ball again and put it down, so I think that's where the referee was. The linesman give it away, but they're on the attack again.
Leno now. Ball's hit the floor, and he says it's come off. Hold on, it's either got to be, there we go. I was just about to say, it's the first thing Mason Leno's done wrong all afternoon, and then he does the second thing 10 seconds later. But with that one, it's either got to be a fresh set of 6 because it's come off a Whitehaven hand, or it's got to be a knock on because it's come off the Wakefield man. Referee Kevin Moore chose neither, but then eventually Leno has knocked on. Like you say, it's about the second thing he's done wrong, and it's only twice in 30 seconds. But it's going to be a scrum down here, heading fate to Whitehaven. We make it just short of 6 minutes to the full-time hooter. Probably
the worst bit of play from Mason Leno this afternoon. I mean, prior to that, he's been absolutely fantastic. He's just he's pulled the strings. He's put the balls in places for his willing runners to come onto it, and you know he's just orchestrated, you know, the game all day. He's just doing what he wanted to do, and you know, and you've got a halfback of that calibre in there. I mean, you know, you're on your way to Super League.
As Jake Carter is now fetching this ball forward. James Newton, he's back out there now to replace Lachlan Hannigan, so we've got another change at half-back for Whitehaven, so it's now going to be Doran and Carter with Newton backing it at hooker. We'll continue to fetch the ball forward now. We make it 5.5 to go to the full-time hooter here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Hugh Worthington now with ball in hand, then finds Jamie Doran, then finds a Dean Gebby. Gebby then looks to step back inside, does the Papua New Guinean. But it's Liam Kay's wrapped him up, as who else is involved in there as well. It was Ollie Pratt waiting for the offload. Jamie Doran's going to put the kick in. It's a sort of spiral bomb. Alfred's is underneath it. Collects it on the full. Trying to get away from Rio Corkill. Tackle completed by Oscar Doran, and it's going to be sort of 15 short of halfway now for Ollie Pratt to fetch this forward. Worthington gets involved, as does Ainley then and Guy Graham. Going to play this 9 metres out. Goes right from Smith into the hands then of Max Jowett. Jowett steps in nearly through there. Is Max Jowett. Tackle completed by Guy Graham and Ross Ainley. Smith then goes right into the hands of Mason Leno. Leno directing traffic, and it's going to be Noah Booth that comes back inside. But he's dived on by Graham and Ross Ainley. Then now Liam Kay comes across then to Leno. Leno then out the back to Jowett. Jowett then finds Ollie Pratt. Pratt is then going to be pulled down by Oscar Doran. King's involved. 5 and last. Jowett realising there's a gap there. Oh, it's going to be knocked on. That's unlucky there. Phil's just unlucky. He come off the knee of Jamie Doran. We've followed that little kick, and Gebby just had to try and readjust and just couldn't do it fast enough, but knew if he didn't try to stop the ball or dive on the ball or whatever he was trying to do, means that Wakefield would have been over for the 4 points, and he was unlucky there, was the Papua New Guinean.
Yeah, he was unlucky. He just seemed to have too much time. Like the first half, he picked a fantastic ball up from his toes, and really he just stopped the Wakefield attack coming on there, but from this one there, as I say, he looked like he had too much time on his hands just to do things. But it's Whitehaven's turn again to defend their own line.
So ball comes from the base of the scrum. Keir finds Leno. Now finds Jowett. Tia couldn't complete the tackle, and it's going to be a little kick over the top for McGilvray. It's just going to have a little bit too much on it, and it is going to be a tap 20 because it's gone dead over the dead ball line. Just had a little bit too much on it there for McGilvray, and Whitehaven's going to have a 7 tackle set here.
Yeah, it's this second half, Wakefield's completion rate, I've got it round about 50%, and if it wasn't for their efforts in the first half, what they've done, I mean, really, they could have been in the game. But they've looked composed, they've looked in control of what they need to do. I mean, the defence has been good, their attack has been really good with Mason Leno pulling the strings. So they've had a decent day, but obviously Daryl Powell will be looking for perfection.
Yeah, he won't be happy with some of the stuff he's seen in the second half, is Daryl Powell, but it is going to be 9 from 9 from this Wakefield side. Hugh Worthington's the man now to fetch it forward here for Haven. The Welsh international is going to be stopped on halfway. Can't be pulled down despite 3 Trinity defenders being around him. Newton then finds Guy Graham, finds Ainley, gets the offload away to Jamie Doran, who finds Ryan King. King trying to get that arm free for an offload. 38 metres out here now are Whitehaven, still a couple of tackles left in the bank. Newton then finds Jamie Doran, now finds Ross Ainley once again. Trying to spin in the tackle there is Ross Ainley. He's going to be the 5 and last, 32 metres out. Newton in weight at dummy half, going to come right then to Jamie Doran. Doran's going to put it high. That's a much better of a spiral bomb than he put in previously. Jowett's then underneath it, didn't know exactly where he should have been there, Max Jowett, and it's Carter's there and just ankle tapped him because he nearly got away there in Max Jowett, but he's pulled down 5 metres away from his own line.
Yeah, again, Mason Leno and Max Jowett, they've been at the forefront of
everything
what Wakefield's done today. As I said, Max Jowett's looked like he's going to break the line. The only time he looked like he break the line when he got that dead leg from before, but apart from that, he's looked very steady in taking the ball and in the attack as well.
McGilvray plays the ball. Smith in there at dummy half, then finds Noah Booth. Booth's going to be wrapped up 30 metres away from his own line. Smith into centre field now with Cozza. Cozza out the back to Kerr. Kerr offers the dummy and nearly through there is Liam Kerr, but Guy Graham, King and Newton all involved on the 5 and last now. Mason Leno going to look just fine. Touch there is Mason Leno. It's going to bounce, and it's going to bounce kindly for Adine Gebby. Had to dive at the feet there of Alford's to Adine Gebby. He's going to play this ball. We'll make it into the final minute here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. It's Oscar Doran now. Fetch it forward. So it's going to be Doran that plays the ball. Jamie Doran in there. Finds Enadine Gebby. Can the Papua New Guinean finally get it through? He can't. To be fair, they're probably against any other side in the division, or more sides in the division, they'll probably had 3 or 4 clean line breaks so far this afternoon, but Wakefield just that little bit stronger than teams that have come across in the championship, at least so far. Adine Gebby, of course, has played international rugby for his country. What goes left then into the hands of Curtis Tia. Tia's nearly through, and looking for the offload to Oscar Doran, and it's just going to hit the floor. We make it into the final seconds. I'm just trying to see if no, hand isn't on the hooter just yet, so we're in injury time as we make it here, but Tia just trying to find the offload there to Joey Romeo. It's going to be scrum down, head and feed to Wakefield exactly on halfway, Pete. You
don't mind that offload that he's done there, but I mean the offload that he did in the first half, it sort of cost them dearly with that try that they had, but as I say, coming up against a full-time team, there's a lot of things. Some of these lads here at Whitehaven, they've got to go to work tomorrow, so some of the Wakefield lads will be going for the massages and the swimming session and doing so that's the difference.
Whitehaven trying to, when was the last time? Whitehaven trying to win the scrum against the head, and now Wakefield's like, well, you're not going to do that, so they've tried to put their feet further forward. Referee Kevin Moore is still not happy. We'll try for the third time. Is it third time's a charm? It is. Ball comes out and then finds now Daryl Alfords, who is about to score. There we go. And full time here at the recreation ground, and Wakefield will know they've been in a game, but they were well on top throughout and have been dominant. But it's a contest that many maybe outside of these two sides wouldn't have expected, but